Welcome to the very first episode of the Yellow Journal. The Yellow Journal is a talk show about societal issues, and we bring awareness about those issues. I am your host, Tine Mataz, and today our first guest is Lorraine Taylor, CEO and Creative Director of Maison du Style. Lorraine, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being our very first guest.
Thank you. I feel so honored, by the way. Thank you. Yeah.
So it's Women's Month,
Mm-hmm.
starting today, the 1st of March. And what we wanted to do is profile, women around Zim who are doing great things. And you're one of them. So I'm going to talk to you about your brand, and we'll just take it from there.
Okay.
Cool. Who is Lorraine?
There's different sides to it, okay? But Lorraine as a
person,
yeah. I would like to think of myself as a spiritual being having a human experience. And I have to go deeper about that and just elaborate. By that I mean everybody set out to do a task, okay? And the way that we are, I've learned to live my life in a way whereby I do things that I believe I've been assigned to do. Therefore, I end up touching up on whether it's the lives that I touch, it's the works that I do, hence the fashion, if it's becoming a leader and a mom or a friend or a sister. So I feel that's who I am in a nutshell, spiritual being.
So you've told us about who you are.
Yeah.
But we can't talk about Lorraine without talking about Maison du Style.
Yes.
Where did that come from?
The brand came it was a discussion between my sister and I because she was into selling hair. She's very passionate about hair and weaves and all of that. Anyway, she used to ask me for, just ideas on names and concepts of what to call her company. And initially the idea was to call her brand Maison du Style, which would mean house of hair. And then this is at the same time that I was planning on launching my clothing line. Then I thought, why don't we just do it together, but without limitations? So we came up with Maison du Style, which means house of style. We wanted to incorporate anything that we then choose to expand to doing, whether it's furniture or selling hair, shoes, makeup, and all of that. So that's how we came up with Maison du Style.
So Maison du Style, why French? It is French, right?
It is French. There was a bunch of other names before that, actually. But I looked, like what we had mentioned before, I looked for something that was different. And I feel like there were so many, at the time, there were so many companies coming up with house of. So, and I love French, okay? I might not be able to speak it well, but I love French, okay? And the sound of it felt more like me, and my name is French. So it felt more, it resonated.
It just made sense.
It made sense, yeah.
Okay. Do you have a fashion icon? You obviously do.
Okay, so I have a man that inspires me in the fashion industry.
Okay.
And that was Karl Lagerfeld.
Who just passed away.
We just passed away. Only because of his personality. Okay.
He was out there.
Karl Lagerfeld had a way of being present in a space, and people will know that has to be the designer of Chanel, of Fendi, and of the Karl Lagerfeld brand. You have to be able, when you walk in the room, people can tell your personality from your brand. And that was Karl. So I really do love him. And of course the clothes are perfect. But
is that something that you're aiming to do as well?
I think
You're there.
I think I'm nearly there, where people can look, and by the way you present yourself, they can tell that this has to be Maison du Style.
So, what keeps Lorraine going? Because as women, we go through so many things.
Yeah.
What keeps you going?
I'm thankful that I've mastered gratitude. And gratitude in the simplest ways possible. That today I could have been having a bad day, but coming here and seeing you on set and being your first guest, when you're conscious of having to be grateful for whatever is presented to you, you learn to take life as it is, and even just something as small as waking up. So I would say gratitude is what keeps me going. I have to have a grateful heart to.
So, have an attitude of gratitude. We'll be right back after these. March is Women's Month, and something we're going to be doing on the Yellow Journal is profiling amazing women who are winning in so many ways, as well as turning pain into power. Watch out for them. Welcome back to the Yellow Journal. I am your host, Tine Mataz. Today we have Lorraine, who is the creative director of Maison du Style. We are talking about bullying in women's social circles. Really interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
We'll get into it.
Yeah. So, you're looking great. I think I'm looking
Thank you.
pretty
You
good
look
too.
fantastic. Very fashionable.
Yeah. You say so yourself. Pretty great. But as women, sometimes we have something that happens, when we're together, especially connected to fashion.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that?
I think,
what does fashion mean to you, personally?
Fashion to me?
Yeah.
Everything. Literally everything. I think I was explaining to my sister the other day, and I was telling her that I never was told or given ideas of what to become or what to be, because that's all I saw. So as you grow, you realize that there's some work that you can actually do to add value to what you see and what you believe in,
and to who you are.
And to who you are. And that's just always been who I was, from noticing fabrics and to seeing how people dress and seeing how people put together their hair and their nails and hairstyles, and everything to me is fashion.
And that brings me to my next question. Can you tell a lot about someone by the way that they dress?
Okay.
People say it all the time.
I know. But I feel like
is it?
Well, if I'm to speak as myself, I used to think I can tell a lot by the way somebody dresses. But that's just the judgmental side of us. And of course, coming from an aspect of being a fashion designer, you want to say dress to impress and you want to sell those. But you can find a very impressive person in bad clothes or in not so fashionable clothes. So you can't really tell. But you can tell moods. And usually what comes with moods is the colors that you wear. If you're feeling flirty and fun, you're in pinks and reds. And, so I can never really say I can tell how a person's personality by the way they dress, but I can feel their mood by the colors that they put on. But yeah, I guess some people would like to believe that they can judge a book by
its
cover.
Yeah,
which is not really.
Tell me something. Have you ever been given that look?
Of course. But
you're in your little short thing, and people give you.
It might not even be little. Yeah. It's your presence, and you find that sometimes it's not the look; it's just the last thing. In most cases, if it's just your presence that shakes people, moves people a certain way that makes them uncomfortable, you're gonna get that look. If it's the way you speak, you're gonna get that look. So you find that, and the sad thing, it's amongst us women that tend to do that. And it's just, you want to...
I think guys will never.
Guys don't have time. They just ride on it and just for the fun of it. But you find that the bickering and the talking about it and the judging is from women to women. So...
Do you think it's a sign of insecurity? A lot of people say that, but is that what you think?
I just think there's now a lot of hate, discrimination. There's a lot of, and amongst each other, competition is a big thing. We don't all want to be everybody wants to be at the top.
Yeah.
And whenever there's going to be someone that somewhat, looks like their competition, we will do people would, I wouldn't say we, I'm not owning that. People would do anything and everything in their power, so to speak, to kind of just kill that,
So you being a fashion designer, being, quite popular, have you ever received that backlash?
I did. I always do.
You always do?
I always do.
You post an outfit and you're going to have lots of people like it, and there'll be a few who are like,
I think this is why it's so difficult and I commend every woman that is out there that started a business, that is doing something and it's now, working, because when you start off and you're trying to say, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do, you're going to find so many people that have failed to make that exact same step as you.
I'm sure you've experienced a lot of backlash with social media. You post a lot of pics, and I've seen a lot of your posts about, being a mystical creature.
Yeah.
What do people say to you?
I think, now I think people have just kind of accepted of Maison du Style has been running for 5 years now, right? But when I first started, which is very difficult, I was, mentioning that it's very difficult to start up a business, let alone to let the people know that this is who you are, and have people accept you. You almost want to just please and show people that, and I went through, my first year after launching my brand, I remember people were dragging me on Twitter for my prices. And, in my head, I'm thinking, this makes so much sense. I'm not even making that much profit because this is a garment that you have not seen elsewhere. You don't understand. I'm making it for somebody. And people are like, yeah, you're not even, they're comparing me to, big fashion houses like Louis Vuitton. And I'm thinking, wow, okay. Again, first of all, that's a compliment. But, when you're starting off, that is not what you want to hear. You want people to be like, okay, good job. And, so it's very, it's a bit painful, so to speak, and it's difficult to start something and to say, okay, this is it, I'm going to keep going no matter what they say, because at that time you're thinking, but these are people that are meant to be buying from me, so if they're hating it, what's going to happen? Is this for me? So you question a lot. However, with me being the mystical creature, it's me saying to the world, I am unknown, so you can't even compare me to anything. So when you see me posting, so it's already like a sign of like, don't enter. If you see me posting something, I'm a mystical creature. What do mystical creatures do? They do just this. So you have to have a way to have, just a strong, tough skin when you put yourself out there on, in the public. So, but I did receive a lot of backlash.
And I think just not for being someone who is sort of advertising a brand, but as a person. Because when you're going to be a public figure or someone who's got a brand, you need to be posting a lot.
True.
You can't just be like, that's just the truth.
Yeah, true.
And so people also can attack who you are.
Yeah, very much so. What the thing is, when people can't really tell who you are, which is what I experienced, when people can't really tell who you are from what you post, they attack what you love most, which is, for me, it was my work. Okay, and then they realized, okay, this girl is actually just still going, and then there's a bit of, but once in a while you have the ones that call you names, and because you present yourself in a certain manner, they think they have all kinds of, name calling just to put you in that little box where you're miserable again, and I feel like that's happening to a lot of girls, a lot of females, a lot of people out there.
And I think it's really commendable that you came out and spoke to us about your journey and be so open about your journey, because there's a quote that I like, and it says your story can unlock someone else's present.
It's true.
So thank you so much for being so open. So before you go, what can you tell other women out there?
Um,
What can you leave us with?
I believe, if you remember when we first started, who I am and who you are and what you're assigned to do is very different from everybody else. So do not try to fit in or try to become like the rest of them, because you have a gift and that is your light. So yeah, don't
Be light.
just be the light. Just be yourself. Yeah, be yourself. It will work out. Definitely, you attract the people that complement who you are. You attract what you are. So that would be that's my advice to people.
So what we do here on the Yellow Journal is we actually have a Yellow Journal.
Hey, okay.
And at the end of each episode, our guests get to write something.
Okay.
So it can be anything. And at some point in the season, we will open it up and just inspire everyone else through what our guests have given us.
All right.
So here it is.
Can you sign it?
Yes, anywhere.
Okay.
You can sign anywhere. You can write whatever you want to write. You can draw, you can... So thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate you. We celebrate you.
Thank you.
And keep winning.
Thank you. Same to you.
And that was it, the very first episode of the Yellow Journal. We had an amazing time. From me and my team, see you next time.